This video will cover all of the latest features Flo by Moen has introduced to the device and the Flo app from August of 2020 until now. If you've not seen the first video I made just before Flo Sense 2.0 came out, you can stop and check that out first or watch it after this one because this video is a follow-on review of Flo by Moen's features. Everything in that video is still valid, but Flo has since enhanced the features I showed in that one. I'll also cover some of the features that already existed, but I missed covering fully at the end of this video. In August of 2020, Flo by Moen released a big update, giving you more control of your water monitor through Flo Sense, the artificial intelligence embedded in Flo. It introduced a sensitivity slider as well as manual overrides. Of course, if you are getting alerts, you want to be 100% sure you have no existing leaks before modifying these settings. Obvious, but for completeness, you have this unit to protect you, and dismissing leaks is definitely the opposite, even if it is a really hard to detect leak hidden within a wall, ceiling, or below the house. Definitely check out the other videos concerning small leak detection with Flo or other more economical tools here on the channel. I have direct links to those videos in the description along with testing the results of how small of a leak each method can detect. Warnings aside, you can modify the device settings. Under Advanced Features, you'll see Flo Sense. Once inside, Flo Sense allows you to use a slider to change the alert sensitivity to be more sensitive or less sensitive. As the information button states, the Smart Water Shutoff uses Flo Sense to proactively monitor your home's plumbing system. In the event of unusual activity, it will trigger an alert to notify you. You can manage the level of responsiveness of the system to trigger alerts with the Alert Sensitivity bar, by decreasing it to receive less alerts or increasing it for added protection. If, however, you have a situation where a regularly scheduled event, such as irrigation or a water softener, keeps getting flagged as an issue, you can set up a manual override. Manual overrides also help Flo recognize these events to stop flagging them as the algorithm incorporates these events at a faster rate. Going into the manual override section, you have to name your new rule, and then start specifying when the event runs, along with which day. Next, you have to set water event thresholds for flow rate, water usage, and water duration. You can also choose if this manual override will apply to home mode, away mode, or both. Last, you get to decide how the Flo by Moen device should react to an event. If you want to enable auto shutoff, the shutoff delay period can be anywhere between 0 seconds to 1 hour. It would be nice if it could also say the event runs every 3 days, like you can see here in the Melnor Rain Cloud app, but this added functionality in the Flo app is much improved from what was there before last August, which was nothing, and it is much improved for your sanity by avoiding receiving false positive alerts. If you overlap the manual overrides, the override position higher on the list will be the one applied to override Flo Sense. Flo recommends positioning the override with the higher water event alert thresholds higher on the list. So here, I'm putting the scheduled water softener time above my very restrictive time around the clock while I'm away. The next update in the Flo app occurred sometime between September of 2020 and January of 2021. If you recall, I mentioned how Flo logs all water movement, which the resulting event history is difficult to wade through and find actual usage as opposed to backflow if you have an open system with no backflow preventer. It seems an algorithm change was put in place, eliminating the backflow recordings around the time the last toothbrush is rinsed and starts back up around the time the first toilet is flushed in the morning. It's a step in the right direction, and it seems like an easy enough update from a software standpoint. You can still see the behavior during the day, which is hard to get around with the turbine design of the unit. Again, just know you may have to put in a backflow preventer to eliminate this behavior if you do not want to see it. This will change your house to a closed system, and current code may require an expansion tank if you have a storage water heater. Check with your city first for your specific requirements before you make these changes. The automatic daily plumbing health checks had an update towards the beginning of February of 2021. If the health test is interrupted, let's say from a water softener running, instead of skipping the nightly check, Flo will attempt to run the test again about an hour later. Flo will continue to test at hourly intervals until it is able to run a complete test. As you can see, each attempt is logged in the Notifications tab. Now, here's the last update that gives you the ability to protect a property from water damage with Flo by Moen where there's no Wi-Fi. This feature was introduced with little fanfare earlier this year, but it is a significant one if you're a builder or a homeowner protecting a house under construction where a Wi-Fi network has not been set up yet. To be clear, local mode is not available to you if you have your device online. If your device is online and goes offline for any reason, the device will fall back to the data stored on the device, which allows Flo to continue to monitor water usage, applying your own household's habits stored locally as long as there's still power to the unit. In comparison, local mode is a specialized mode where the device will not be connected to Wi-Fi. There are 3 settings: low, medium, and high, of which high is the default. For all modes, it will auto shut off if a single event exceeds specific thresholds. Currently, high mode will trigger a shutoff at 10 gallons consumed, 5 gallons per minute for more than 10 seconds, or 5 minutes of water use. Medium triggers shutoff at 20 gallons consumed, 5 gallons per minute for more than 10 seconds, or 10 minutes of water use. Low allows for 50 gallons consumed, 8 gallons per minute for more than 10 seconds, or 15 minutes of water use. The gotcha for builders here is making all trades aware of this device protecting the home. You can imagine a drywaller or painter trying to clean tools, triggering the warning, causing the device to shut off the water. Since the device isn't online, you can't simply open up the app and turn the valve back on. There might be a few choice words exchanged as the paint or mud is drying on tools. However, it will catch a leak if a plumber forgets a crimp while installing the entire plumbing system and prevent said drywall and paint from getting destroyed before a leak is caught. You can also manually run a health check in local mode. I do not have a unit to show this. However, Brian over on his Pioneer Builders YouTube channel has one, and he recently put out a video. This is why I held off in this video until now. Brian will show you how Flo by Moen works in local mode and runs a test for you to see it in action. I'll also default to the article linked in the description for more information, since how it is used may change and Flo will keep the website current. There's a little more local mode can do, such as LED behavior, so check out the Pioneer Builders video and the website if you're interested in using Flo in this capacity. Even the Flo by Moen smart water detectors now have local mode capability. Flo has also developed extra supporting devices that enhance Flo by Moen, a battery backup, and U by Moen faucet compatibility so that when a freeze warning comes across, Flo can tell the faucet to turn on the sink to keep the water moving through the lines, preventing water lines from freezing. Now here are a few features I missed in the last video. As I hinted at before, there is an away mode. In this mode, Flo will continue to monitor the usage in your home, and the algorithm will be more conservative and more likely to send alerts as it learns what is normal when water is used in away mode. Of course, if you do not have any extra systems, you can use manual overrides to crank the security down to the max. Or, as you can see here, prioritize the irrigation and water softener above the maximum security setting, and all should be well. Flo by Moen also comes in different sizes. This is a 3/4 inch Flo. It also comes in 1 inch and 1 1/4 with larger prices to match the larger sizes. As you can see inside, there's a last chance plastic piece attempting to prevent larger debris from impeding the freewheeling turbine. As a result, you will see some decrease in pressure to the house, but from my own experience, this was minimal. The maximum flow I saw in the Flo app was 9.3 gallons per minute. Give that measurement a little wiggle room because the pressure was at 62.8 psi. Your pressure is probably different than mine, and the hose bib that was free flowing is on the back of the house with who knows how many turns, which also decreases the flow rate as the plumbing meanders under and out of the house. As I said before, and as you can see at the bottom of the email Flo sent last August, these devices are continually improving.
But this is a good reminder when it comes to actually purchasing these, finding out what the different systems are, what's offered out there on the market. Videos can't be edited. Go check out the websites. Make sure you know exactly what these companies are offering so you can see which system is the best one to protect your home.
If you found this video helpful, I appreciate you hitting the like button and stay tuned because I'll be sharing more on Flo by Moen and comparing it with Fin Plus. You can check out my other videos on Flo by Moen if you're curious on how it works in the meantime. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next Friday.